Alright, this is chapter 1.6, which is more on solving other types of equations. Today we're going to do, in particular, solving equations with radicals. So now, with that set in mind, just as like the square root property where we had to get one side with the x squared, is the same thing what we're going to do solving radicals. So we want to get the radical on one side and everything else to the other. So we're going to add a 12 to both sides, and then that'll give me the square root of 3x equals 212. So now, in order to get rid of something that has a square root, we typically square it. So we square both sides, and then we have 3x comes out, and then 12 squared will give me 144. So now we divide both sides by 3, and so x would equal to 48. And then that will be our answer. It seems relatively simple. So next one, let's go another step up. Let's add this 4 to both sides, because again, we want the radical on one side to itself. So that gives me the square root of x minus 10 equals to positive 4. So what can I do here? I need to get rid of the square root. So I square both sides, and that'll give me x minus 10 equals to 16, right? So now, solving for x, that means I need to add the 10 to both sides, and here x equals to 26. And then that'll be my final answer. Now, let's go one more step further up from there. Here I have 2x plus 7 minus x plus 2. So I want to, again, solve, but here I have an x underneath the radical and an x on the outside. That's fine. We still need to get the square root by itself. So I add an x to both sides, and this will give me the square root of 2x plus 7 equals to x plus 2. So now, with that being said, I still square both sides, right? So squaring both sides, the radical comes, the radicand comes out, which would be 2x plus 7 equals to x plus 2 times x plus 2. Now, why did I do that? Because this is squared. We have now officially made this into a binomial, so we need to expand it twice. So on this right-hand side, I need to go ahead and FOIL. So this would be x squared plus 2x plus another 2x plus 4, which equals to 2x plus 7. So again, on my right-hand side, I combine my like terms, and that'll give me x squared plus 4x plus 4. I always want to get things on one side. So since I have my x squared on this side, I think I want to go ahead and move everything to the right-hand side. So I'm going to subtract the 2x, and I might as well go ahead and subtract this 7 from both sides. So this will now give me x squared, might as well put it up here, x squared plus 2x minus 3, right? So now this is equaling to 0. So now I have to say, well, now I have a quadratic equation. I could either solve by completing the square, solve by the quadratic formula, or maybe I should solve by factoring. So I say, well, what multiplies to be negative 3 and adds up to be positive 2? Well, that should be 3 and 1. So this should be x plus 3 and x minus 1. So x plus 3 equals to 0, and x minus 1 equals to 0. So now I need to go and subtract the 3 from both sides, and x equals to negative 3. Add a 1 to both sides, and x equals to positive 1. So now I have two solutions to my equation. All right, now when we get into class, we'll discuss talking about plugging these back in to double check to make sure that your solution works, okay? Now, if we move a little further, we have the square root of 2x minus 5 minus the square root of x minus 3. It has quite a bit going on here. There's two radicals on one side. It is best to get one radical on the left-hand side and one radical on the right-hand side. So I would a square root of x minus 3 to both sides. So that'll now give me square root of 2x minus 5 equals to 1 plus the square root of x minus 3. So I square both sides now, and this will now give me 2x minus 5 equals to 1 plus square root of x minus 3 times 1 plus square root of x minus 3, right? So just as we were doing before, you have to FOIL. So 1 times 1 is going to give me 1. 1 times square root of 3 minus x will give me a plus 1 square root of x minus 3. And then that'll give me another 1 square root of x minus 3. And then the two square roots multiplied together would make that officially what? Squared. Or here, I'll do it out. That'll be the square root of x minus 3 squared, right? And then on this left-hand side, this 2x minus 5. So, are there any terms that I can combine together? Surely there are. These two in the middle. So this will give me 2x minus 5 equals to 1 plus 2 square root of x minus 3 plus, what happens when you square a square root or something squared in the square root? You bring out that radicand, so that'd be x minus 3. So can I combine something together also again on this left-hand side? I mean the right-hand side? I surely can. This 1 and this, negative 3. So this will now give me 2x minus 5 equals to negative 2 plus x plus 2 square root of x minus 3. Whew. Still got a bit to go. So I need to move all of this to one side because I obviously see that I have another radical here. Since I have another radical here, that means I'm going to have to square it again. So obviously when you have two square roots, it might get to be a very long problem. So I'm going to add a 2 to both sides, and I might as well subtract my x from both sides at the same time. Everything cancels out here, and then this becomes x minus 3 equals to 2 square root of x minus 3. So now what do I have to do? Well, you have to square both sides. So now that I've squared both sides, this will now give me x minus 3 times x minus 3 equals to, well, this is really saying 2 squared, right? And times x minus 3, okay? So if I FOIL this out, this will give me x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9 equals to 4 times x minus 3. So x squared, combine your like terms, minus 6x plus 9 equals to, distribute your 4. 4x minus 12. So now I need to bring everything on this right-hand side to the left-hand side. So I subtract the 4x from both sides, and I add a 12 to both sides. Okay? So that'll give me x squared minus 10x plus 21, right? So now I have to say what multiplies to be 21 and adds up to be negative 10. Well, that'll be negative 7 and negative 3. So this will be x minus 7 times x minus 3 equals to 0. So now we set those both equal to 0. So x minus 7 equals to 0 and x minus 3 equals to 0. So in this case, x will equal to 7 and x would equal to 3. And then again, you have to double check your solutions to see which ones work. Okay, and I believe if we check them, both of them will work in the original answer. Okay, you check it in the original answer to right here. All right, so that concludes this part of the video. I know it was a lot, but we will practice on it when you have class the next time. Thank you.